Folks, we've been up here just chit-chatting, getting things planned. Today, we're going to talk about consistency in your messaging. Your acquisition department or your buy center, as we like to call it, should always consider the marketing touch points as you would with any other department. And providing sellers with a safe, fast, and easy alternative to selling their vehicles privately is a valuable service. And your marketing needs to tell this story. Your marketing needs to reflect that. And that's what we're going to get into today, is all those touch points within your marketing where customers need to see that, because they don't know what you know. And that's what your marketing has to convey. Tom, why don't you take a moment to intro us to what we're looking at today?
Absolutely. Thanks, Ryan. And since we work with dealers to send text messages to private sellers, there's a certain percentage of sellers that will question the intent of the dealer, whether they are trying to get the seller to trade the car in and to purchase a vehicle. So what we're talking about today is having a consistent message online that backs up what you tell a seller by being able to show the seller that same story. So if they have any questions on whether or not it's an actual intent that you are willing as a dealer to buy a vehicle from a seller without buying a vehicle from you, we want that message to be consistent so it answers the questions and they're more likely to engage with you.
Yeah, having an acquisition department or a buy center is actually a standalone department, just as new car, pre-owned, F&I, parts and services. And if a seller contacts the dealership or looks on the website and there is not anything that reflects that there is actually an acquisition department, they become very suspicious. One of the ways that we've found is to put these sellers at ease is to make that marketing message consistent, as Tom said. So adding a tab on the website or a dedicated website page, utilizing the number that Van supplies the dealers with, or their actual acquisition department telephone number, adds credibility and puts the sellers at ease if they do some research on the web before they actually contact the dealership or the acquisition department.
And to go a little bit further, so when I had done this at the dealership, we had centered our entire marketing strategy around the webpage. So the webpage was a pretty simple page that described the process and why a seller ought to do business. But then beyond that, the options that dealers have is to build an FAQ page that may talk at a deeper level about what a seller may have questions on. So if it relates to a payoff, if it relates to equity or negative equity. And as I mentioned about the phone number indexing with Google, if it's an FAQ, maybe written as a question, which then in turn could index even deeper with Google, that if somebody in your local market poses a question, is your page found that explains that either explains a few things. One is what the answer to the question is. Second, it may provide you as a trusted resource that the seller could be choosing you to do business with.